Hallo, dis tyd vir Fokus. Baie welkom. Ek is Lenet Francis Peuren. Fokus is die week presies 28 jaar oud. Die eerste uitsending is op 6 Februarie 1996 uitgesaai met Freek Robinson as aanbieder. 'n Hartlike dank aan al ons kykers wat die afgelope 28 jaar getrou saamkyk. Bietjie later in vanaand se program hoor ons meer oor eksotiese diere en veral ape wat as troeteldiere aangehou word en die gevare daaraan verbonde. Die historiese monumente in Kimberley in die Noord-Kaap word in die jongste tyd blaatant verwoes en gevandaliseer. In die meeste gevalle word die standbeelde en monumente bloot vir staal en ander waardevolle materiaal beskadig. Die Solplaatjie Munisipaliteit poog nou om in samewerking met die Solplaatjie Universiteit en ander rolspelers die geskiedenis van Kimberley te beskerm. Hierdie verslag deur Keith Suister.
Kimberley is een van die vele dorpe in die land met 'n ryk geskiedenis. Die dorp het baie historiese monumente en standbeelde wat van die diamantstormloop tot die Suid-Afrikaanse oorlog en ander geskiedkundige gebeure in die streek uitbeeld. Maar die historiese monumente en standbeelde word in die jongste tyd erg gevandaliseer en lei tot groot kommer omdat die meeste van die monumente groot toeriste trekpleisters is.
Just the desire to steal metal. And in this immediate vicinity, we've had lots of other metal theft. We've had the theft of air conditioners and the lightning conductors on the cathedral that's behind us here. All sorts of metal that's taken. And it's obviously a reflection of the economic climate, but also very unfortunate thieving criminality. That we have that's causing this kind of destruction, which is actually ultimately a kind of economic sabotage, just as well, maybe not as bad as the theft of railway infrastructure, but it's certainly part of the touristic attraction of Kimberley.
Die Solplaatjie Munisipaliteit sê hulle veg 'n verlore stryd en soek nou na alternatiewe maniere om van die beskadigde monumente en standbeelde te herstel.
More especially our monuments, our historical sites are being vandalized, more specifically because of they would want to gain access to the metals which are inside. But we have embarked on the process whereby we are looking into ensuring that all our historical parks are secured and safe. That is why we have been in a process negotiating with the municipality and the Solplaatjie University in terms of selling some piece of the municipality's parks so that they are able to create a great hall so that their site in itself should also be safe, but also would be empowering manforce from the municipality to ensure that all our parks are safe. We will be replacing some of the parts which were stolen, but we would not be replacing it with metals inside. We would go on a process of making sure that even if we have to use fiber or plastic so that they are safe, so that people must not think that there would be metals inside, so that they must not be able to steal again those metals inside.
Inwoners meen daar moet meer gedoen word om van die geskiedenis van Kimberley behou te laat bly. En die stadsvaders moet daadwerklik in die verband optree.
When you see the statues there, it's a demonstration of the digging of diamonds. So there on top there was a big surf there, and it wasn't that this grey, the painting, it was like blackish but shining. So this place was beautiful, and I don't know where the surf went. It went just missing. So people are not looking after the park as they used to, and even the grass, it's not like it should be taken action about this, because this is our place and we should look after it, and we should stand together to look after this place. So if we can't stand together, the place will fall apart very quickly and easily. We wouldn't even know about it. So even the smallest parks we know in the suburbs, they also damaged. Just like then, this is the first example in town, which it shouldn't happen at all.
Die mense hier in Kimberley, die mense wat moet kyk dat die goede nie afgebreek word nie. Hulle werk saam die mense nie. So wat moet ons, benam ons groot mense, benam die jong spannetjies ook, as hulle reeds wat die goeders doen. En nou sê ek, as jy hulle gaan keer of so iets, dat wil hulle beklei saam met jou.
Die burgemeester sê hulle probeer hard om baie van die standbeelde en monumente te herstel, maar die gemeenskap sal ook moet inkoop om te help om die historiese monumente en standbeelde in die dorp te bewaar.
We are currently in the process of refurbishing and replacing most of our grass in our parks, but more especially we have went on an aggressive approach to ensure that all our parks in and around Solplaiki are refurbished and they are back to their standard. But the problem that we're having is this park at night gets full with different kinds of people and different kinds of activities are happening here, but we're in the process as a municipality to ensure that we'll be able to curb those processes. We are also working hand in hand with the police to ensure that this space becomes a safe space, but once all processes are in place, definitely this park will be one of the parks that we used to attend to when we were children.
Net hierna hoor ons meer oor eksotiese diere wat as troeteldiere aangehou word. Ons besoek ook 'n reddingsentrum vir ape wat van hul eienaars weggeneem is. Bly by ons. Welkom terug by Fokus. Eksotiese diere is diere wat van ander lande kom en in Suid-Afrika aangehou word. Die handel in eksotiese diere gaan dikwels gepaard met wreedheid. En baie mense weet nie wat op hulle wag wanneer hulle eksotiese diere as troeteldiere aanhou nie. Hierdie diere moet dan dikwels deur diereregtorganisasies gered word. Een so 'n organisasie is International Primate Rescue, oftewel IPR, wat hulle beywer om veral primate te red. Hierdie verslag deur Nadelig.
My name is Sue Mosley. I'm the founder of International Primate Rescue. International Primate Rescue is a sanctuary for exotic primates. An exotic primate is any primate that is not native to South Africa. They're referred to as exotic primates. We take ex-pet, ex-zoo and ex-laboratory monkeys, and then we'll bring them here, socialize them, and they'll stay at the sanctuary for the rest of their lives. I originally founded the sanctuary after an experience that I had with a pet monkey that I bought and then realized that it was the wrong thing to do. It was a little marmoset called Maggie, and when she was 3 years old, she attacked me, and I couldn't understand why she would do that, because as far as I was concerned, I'd never treated her cruelly, and that was my ignorance, because I realize now how cruel it is to take a baby away from its mom and then raise it in isolation. I didn't know what to do with this little monkey then, because she wasn't happy with me, I wasn't happy with her, she hated me, and it was as a result of that that I founded a sanctuary, because there were no sanctuaries in those days. We're talking about before 1996, because International Primate Rescue was founded in 1996.
Sy verduidelik die wreedheid daaraan wanneer teelers die baba-apies van hulle ma's wegneem.
Yes, what will generally happen is that a breeder, and there are several in South Africa, will wait until the baby is born, and then they'll go to the mother monkey, and the mother monkey is not willing really to give the baby up. They're primates like us, and there will be a little bit of a scuffle. They'll take a net in generally, they'll catch the female and the baby in the net, and they will literally wrench that baby away from the mother. And anybody who wants to buy a baby, they don't get to see that, but the result quite frequently is that the baby gets hurt or the mother will get hurt. We have a monkey right here at the sanctuary that lost her leg in that process of pulling the baby off the mother. The mother monkey does not want to give up her offspring, so she's going to fight back the best way that she can, but she's no match for a man with a net, or two men, whatever it takes, and they literally in the end will just pull any part of that baby off of the parent, and quite frequently damage the baby.
Die trauma kan daartoe lei dat die eienaar van die primaat aangeval word.
The instinct for the baby is to cling very tightly to the mother and to suckle, of course. So people that are hand-rearing baby monkeys don't always realize that the need for the baby to cling to its carer at all times is very strong, and if they're left alone in cages and so on, separated from their main carer after already being through the trauma of being removed from the mother, the baby literally will believe that it's going to die, and it has no way really to communicate that to the parent or to the human carer, and that will develop in the early ages of its life a whole host of self-comforting behaviors, a lot of anger. That's the most common of all of those behavioral problems. I have seen firsthand what happens when a mother has babies taken from her time after time after time. There was a birth, and the mother monkey literally was trying to hide her baby. After she'd given birth to it, she was in the corner with her back towards us, with her arms around the baby, trying to conceal it from us, and I knew immediately that that mother had had babies taken away from her. She was so terrified that every time we looked at her, she turned her back to us and tried to conceal the baby. And that's what happens, because the mother monkey knows, when it's happened enough times, that somebody is coming for her baby, and this is what owners in the pet trade or people considering buying a baby monkey, they don't get to see that. They don't even realize that. They think it's the same as buying a kitten or a puppy, and it's not, because primates are like us. It's not very different from someone coming to take your baby away from you time after time after time, and you don't have any choice.
Die gevolge wanneer primate rondgeskuif word, kan ernstige afmetings aanneem.
Liam arrived at the sanctuary when he was about 1 year old, and he had had several homes or several different people looking after him when he was growing up. So from the time of his birth to a year old, he'd had, I don't actually know how many different people looked after him, but I do know that he went from home to home to home, and then back to his owner, and then back to another home. So his early childhood, if you want to call it that, was very, very, very insecure. He never had an opportunity to stabilize. He was totally insecure when he arrived at the sanctuary, and he has got a little bit better now, but he still reacts very, very strongly to anything that's different or new, or he sees a new person coming, and sometimes he reacts with quite a lot of fear. He sometimes runs up and down in the tunnel. Susie is quite recent. She arrived in June. She's a 5-year-old, and this is just typically what happens in the pet trade. She, one day, without any warning, just mauled her owner, and they can do quite a lot of damage, and they're not giving up. You can throw them off you, they'll come back at you. So the owner actually was inflicted with some quite serious wounds, and then what happened was that she did eventually manage to free herself from Susie and bring her to the sanctuary. But this is very, very typical of the reason why we get monkeys, is because they've either reached sexual maturity and they become totally unpredictable. There's no warning. They suddenly one day, for no apparent reason, will attack you, and they're quite relentless in it. They can inflict quite serious wounds in the case of a capuchin. The other reason why we get them is because they're very destructive. It's not easy to live with a capuchin in your house. They break stuff. He was already 10 years old when we got Dalton. He was hand-reared also in isolation, and his owners were moving. Over the years, we have tried many times to socialize him, but he always ends up attacking the partner monkey or the monkey we try and pair him up with. He acts, I believe, out of fear. I think that he's so human imprinted by now that he doesn't fully recognize his own species as being his own. And he's more inclined to respond to humans now. But as a result of that, And we will try again at some stage, but as a result of that, he now lives alone. Any hand-reared monkey is just not a safe pet to have. It happens with squirrel monkeys, with marmosets. In actual fact, with any of the species that are hand-reared, they potentially can become dangerous pets. They don't get to develop normally, and then that's what causes the aggression in any of the primate species. It can be extremely...
Bly ingeskakel net hierna, deel 2 van Nadeve Schreibman se spesiale verslag. Sy het ook gaan uitvind wat die wet sê oor die aanhouding van eksotiese diere. Nou terug. Die handel in eksotiese diere en die aanhouding van hierdie diere in Suid-Afrika lei tot baie probleme. 'n Organisasie vir diereregte, Ban Animal Trading, beywer hulle nou daarvoor dat nasionale wette in Suid-Afrika gewysig word om hierdie diere te beskerm. Hier is deel 2 van Nadeve Schreibman se verslag.
Talle bestuur Ban Animal Trading, 'n diereregte organisasie wat die publiek bewus maak van dieremishandeling. Sy waarsku dat wilde diere nie huisdiere is nie.
Baie mense sal sê, ja, maar die eksotiese diere wat saam met my in my huis bly, soos byvoorbeeld die ape, is ook domesticated, maar hulle is nie domesticated nie, hulle is net mak. Hulle instinkte in terme van die feit dat hulle wilde diere is, bly altyd daar. En dit is ook hoekom dit gevaarlik is om hulle aan te hou as troeteldiere, want hulle kan omdraai en byt. En jy sal nie verstaan hoekom dit gebeur het nie, want jy weet nie wat gebeur met hierdie diere in die wild nie, en jy verstaan nie wat hierdie instink in hulle nou wakker gemaak het om op hierdie manier te reageer nie. So, maar daar's iets wat vir hulle net kan trigger, en dan is hulle gedrag is dan heeltemal, mens kan dit nie verduidelik.
Sy sê daar is groot handel in inheemse en eksotiese diere van Suid-Afrika na China.
'n Paar jaar terug het Ban Animal Trading 'n verslag geskryf saam met EMS Foundation oor die uitvoer van wilde diere van Suid-Afrika af China toe. En ek het gaan kyk na waar hierdie wilde diere na toe gaan, want dit is nie net inheemse diere nie, dis ook eksotiese uitheemse diere wat ons uitvoer. En ek het in Hong Kong ons skilpaaie wat deur die Johannesburgse dieretuin weggevat word van mense wat hulle in Suid-Afrika aanhou as troeteldiere. Ek het daai skilpaaie daar gekry in 'n troeteldierwinkel in Hong Kong, waar hulle verkoop word as troeteldiere vir mense in Hong Kong. En dis wat gebeur met eksotiese diere wat in Suid-Afrika verkoop word. Dis 'n ander land se wilde diere. En mense, dis moeilik vir mense om daai te begryp. Ek dink mense moet net baie mooi dink. Ons sit met, ek dink iets soos 22% van alle honde en katte in Suid-Afrika het nie huise nie. Ons kan nie eers domesticated diere in Suid-Afrika hanteer sonder om letterlik miljoene elke jaar te moet doodmaak, want daar's nie plek vir hulle almal nie. En al wat ons nou doen is, ons bring nou net nog diere in en nog diere in, en ons maak 'n stelsel wat al klaar nie al hierdie diere kan hanteer nie, net nog swakker. So, ek dink, vir enige iemand wat 'n eksotiese dier wil koop, definitief nie, want jy weet nie wat jy ondersteun nie. Miskien aanneem, want daar's dalk iemand wat 'n huis soek, ja, maar dit is dan waar dit stop.
Sy sê agterplaastelers en 'n gebrek aan wette lei daartoe dat die handel in eksotiese wilde diere baie gesog is.
Ek dink op hierdie stadium is toevlugsoorde en plekke waar diere beskerm word, eksotiese diere beskerm word wanneer mense hulle nie meer wil hê nie. Hierdie plekke kry regtig baie swaar. Dis vir hulle baie moeilik want hulle moet vir die publiek vra vir geld. Hulle lewe van donasies af. Die teelers hoef nêrens geregistreer te wees nie van eksotiese diere, want hulle is almal backyard breeders, almal van hulle. En hulle verkoop hierdie diere aan wie ook al geld het, maak nie saak vir hulle of jy die dier kan oppas nie, maak nie saak of jy na 2 jaar nie meer die dier wil hê nie. Hulle vat ook nie die diere terug nie. En die mense gaan dan en vat hierdie diere na toevlugsoorde toe waar die diere opgepas moet word, maar die teelers hoef nooit enigiets te betaal om daai diere aan die gang te hou nie. As 'n eksotiese eksotiese dierhandel toegelaat word, dan moet dit baie goed gereguleer word. Natuurlik is die beste scenario dat dit nie gebeur nie, want hierdie is diere wat gevoelens het, hulle het sosiale behoeftes en so aan. Ons kan nie net maak asof hulle net, dieselfde is as 'n kar se band of enigiets nie. Hierdie is 'n dier met gevoel. En ek dink sodra die teelers aan hulle eie sakke begin voel, ons is nou besig om moeilikheid te maak, want ons moet nou bydra tot 'n fonds sodat hierdie diere in toevlugsoorde kan bly. Ons moet registreer. Ons moet diere terugvat wat mense nie meer wil hê nie. Dan dink ek sal die hele troeteldierbedryf al klaar met seker ten minste 60% verminder.
Sy is besig om ondersoek in te stel om te bepaal hoe nasionale wetgewing vir die beskerming van wilde diere gewysig kan word sodat hulle dieselfde beskerming geniet as inheemse diere.
Internasionale handel in diere word gereguleer of is veronderstel om gereguleer te word deur CITES, wat 'n konvensie is waaraan 'n klomp lande behoort, en dit kyk dan, na diere wat wat gaan uitsterf en so aan, en dit probeer om die handel in daai diere te minimaliseer. Op daai manier kan ons dan CITES diere wat op CITES 1 se lys is in Suid-Afrika invoer. En daar moet 'n invoerpermit vir hulle gegee word deur die Suid-Afrikaanse regering. Maar sodra hulle in Suid-Afrika kom, dan val al daai beskerming wat hulle sou gehad het in terme van CITES heeltemal weg. En dan word hulle net een van nog 'n klomp ander diere wat mense hier gebruik om mee te teel. Hulle verkoop hulle, miskien voer hulle uit weer na 'n ander dieretuin toe elders of na 'n pet shop toe, 'n troeteldierwinkel elders. Ons is nou besig om met ons prokureurs saam te werk, en ons is besig om te kyk na die nasionale wetgewing wat bestaan en of daar ergens 'n manier is wat ons iets kan doen om dieselfde beskerming wat inheemse diere het ook vir eksotiese diere te gee. En ons is nou besig daarmee, en dit is hierdie jaar ons fokus hierdie jaar is om te kyk of ons hierdie uitgesorteer kan kry. Want ons kan nie toelaat dat wat nou gebeur in Suid-Afrika aanhoudend gebeur.
En dis al vir vanaand. Onthou, al die Fokus uitsendings is steeds op YouTube beskikbaar. Soek net onder Fokus, SABC en die datum van die uitsending. Volgende week Vrydag aand saai ons weer om 8:30 uit op SABC 2 en om 6 op Lehai. En Lehai is beskikbaar op SABC+. Jy besoek die webwerf www.sabcplus.com en ons groet dan tot volgende Vrydag aand. Ons hoop dit is 'n lekker naweek. Dankie vir die saamkyk. Totsiens.